Welcome back, guys. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Sorry this video is a little late, but I got kind of a day behind. I thought I was going to be able to do some, like finish the last part yesterday and get this one in this morning, and it just didn't happen. I do apologize, but at least I am doing it on Christmas. It's just kind of late. So anyway, so there's my Christmas skins. Um, those are what I got on the venture missions. And the thing I learned though is these aren't really interchangeable. You use the skin one time and that's it. Because if I change that skin, I lose the skin, I destroy it, and it's not transferable. So I'm not changing that. I'm going to end up keeping that on there because I don't want to lose it. Now, I guess the thing is when you let's see here. When you go to your personal inventory, and let's say the Rising Star, that's the Christmas one. You see, I still have 1 out of 4. I've used 3, but what you do is when you every time that you start a brand fresh new game, you will start with these. You don't need to earn them again. You'll have them, and it will refresh whatever max amount you have. So if I start a new game right now, the new game will start off with one of these, 50 of these, one of these, 4 of these, one of these, and one of these. Like, just refresh it. So it's kind of different than what I thought. You put them on there as soon as I could, and I didn't really know that fact, but so I want to make sure I told you guys that. Yeah, it will get destroyed if you change the skin. But of course, there's my. I always forget the name of that ship. Why is it? I can't remember the name of that ship. Gorgon. The medium combat ship. And then I also bought 2 new fighters because I'm using my buzzard on those venture missions. So I bought a couple Argon heavy fighters. These are actually categorized as heavy fighters. This one here, and you see my Christmas skins. I put those on those too. This is the Eclipse, and that's the Quasar. Now the Eclipse seems more like a real combat ship in terms of firepower and shields. It's got more than the Quasar. But I do like the look of the Quasar. That looks pretty cool. So I ended up getting both versions of the Argon heavy fighter that's out of this shipyard in Argon Prime, basically. I haven't gone in them yet. I haven't seen.
Vanguard.
Well, hello, sir. So it's a fighter, it's a fighter cockpit. I like that nose though. I like that glass. And let's see.
Hello there.
Oh, are you telling? There's no ladder. The ladder should be right here. Oh.
Vanguard.
And it appears out of nowhere. It's like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So anyways, that looks pretty cool too. I mean, it's different. That's cool. All right, so I wanted to show you guys Christmas skins. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. But getting back to building up the empire here, when you go and right-click on a station, you can get the logistical overview. Or logical. It says logical. Never mind. I was thinking more logistics, but it's just logical. So at this station, I added the storage space and I added the habitat. Though I added the habitat so I can get a workforce. Because optimal number of workers is 200. Right now, I've got 202 out of 250 possible with my habitat space. Now, the thing is these 202 workers, they need food rations and medical supplies. So per hour, this is what they're consuming that way. All right. If I go to storage levels down here on the chart and I select both those, um, oh, and if I go on these drop downs, tells you the storage type, but also tells you the max storage capacity for that item. And then also you can change your pricing here. I've got automatic pricing selected, but you can do manual buy offers if you want to control that. And same thing with medical supplies, 540 is the max. So, and what I did real quick is I just took the ratio of medical supply to food rations that are needed or used up, which came to like 1.669. And then I figured out the ratio of the max storage capacity of the food rations to the medical supplies, and it came out 1.66. So the storage capacity ratio and the usage per hour ratios are the same. So that's good. Meaning, if I fill up on food rations, fill up on medical supplies, they got about the same amount of cycles or per hour's worth. Um, so that works. That just worked out. I didn't mean to do that, but I had that large container, and it seems like that really worked out. It's got a good ratio. I don't know if all containers are a good ratio. I don't know that yet, but I just wanted to point that out. Um, but right now, I'm importing these things. I'm paying for them. I'm buying them. So I do want to be self-sufficient. So what that means is I'm going to have to build a food rations module and a medical supplies module, and then also the modules that support those I'm going to need to build. So that's what I kind of want to do on this on this part. I was thinking about just taking these ships out with the Christmas skins, but I really need to start to get those built because I've got the money for it. Let's see. I've got 44 million, so I got the money to do it. And right now it's costing me money. I can be saving money once I buy these and make the headquarters self-sufficient. I don't really want the headquarters to be a factory of sorts, but I do want it to be self-sufficient. So let's try that. If I go here to the build plan, okay. So we've got our construction here. The large storage, the well, that's the pier, and this is the habitat, small habitat. Um, the small, medium dock, the large and extra large dock, and then my venture platform and dock. That's going on here. So I need to build production module. Um, I'm going to need to build a medical supply and a food rations module here. So if I go with food rations, will that fit under there? That won't fit under there. Why will that not fit underneath there? Okay, so it can't. It has to go to the side or top. Another thing too is I didn't notice this last time, but if you notice these arrows, these connection arrows, some of them are light green and some of them are white. I didn't notice that the first time. The light green is where this module is going to be able to go snap onto. The white is where it's not going to be able to. So you can quickly kind of see where you can place it. Um, thinking there, but like, I want it to not be in the way of anything. I wanted it to be right there. Hmm. Well, that sucks. What's the medical supply look like? And it has to be on the top. Oh no, I was not. I wanted this to be on the top. I can. I can put it over there. I don't really want to put it over there. Huh. Well, well, well. You know what? I'm going to try to think about this real quick, and I'll be back. I don't think I can see. Yeah, actually, I can. All right, cool. So I got those placed, and this will tell me what I need to support these. So I do need a meat. So, oh no. Oh no, don't tell me that just. It did. All right. Well, you guys will see what I did here. And to rotate these, you gotta like just place it not on a station, and then you can hold right mouse button and rotate it, and then you can place it. Just FYI. So I needed a meat also. Let's go with meat. Let's see here. It's gotta be on the top somewhere again. Jeez. Really? Alright, I think I'm gonna go out that way with a cross. And then can that meet? Where, there it is. Can that, how's that fit? I don't think that's good. Oh, wait. It's like on top of there and on top of there. Oh, okay. I think that those both fit there. That's cool. That works. That works. That looks good. I like that. Just make sure. Yeah, it's not hitting anything. It fits nice and snug right in there. That worked. Okay, I just can't go up there, of course. Um, which is fine because I wanted that kind of hopefully open. Good, that worked out. So what else? What else do I need if I go to this view? I need energy cells. All right, so let me go back to this view and energy cells. It's that one right there. Okay, and this will go like off the side. Okay. Wonder why. Why is that red? Huh. Oh, I see why. Because with that dock, you see the orange that rectangles are where you can't fly or can't build. So, okay, I see. Well, in that case, now that should be good to go with the energy cells. Yeah. That's good to go. Okay, so I'm going to do that one there. Let's see here. What's this for? Yeah, okay, I think I use that one. So let me use this vertical here. A cross section. And then another vertical. I mean, this is space. It's huge. And then another cross section. If I need more room, I just need to keep moving out like that. All right, so let's take a look here. Energy cells, okay, and then I need water. All right, so I need a water plant. Let's see, this thing can only be connected from, it only connects at the top of something. Jeez. There's a lot of these. Yeah, all right. It's green. Why is that red then? It's got a red. Well, that's not good. Oh no! No, 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 no. Okay. Well, let's see here. Since that resetted, and that was the last thing I wanted to do. What I want to do is I'm going to put it together, and then I will be right back. Also, after I punch a hole through the wall, after resetting that. But I'll be back when I got it set, so that you guys don't watch me think about this so long. Okay. Well, as you can see here, I went a little, a little overboard, but okay. So I'll tell you what I was doing. So basically, what I did is when you're in the build plan menu, basically don't exit out of this until you've confirmed your changes, or you have to go back in it, but it erases your changes. Or you can just confirm it, but when you confirm it, it's, those things are set. But you can flip between these two. Your logical. So now, just like in X3 or really every X game, you want to start from your end products, the end products you want to have from that complex or station, I guess it was what it is. You want to start with your end products. What I did was I just did one factory of each, and then it tells you what it needs. So like these are food rations and these are medical supplies. But what I did is I had one of each, and when you go in these drop down menus, it tells you what that module produces and what it needs, the numbers. So what I did was for one of each of those, because these are needed to supply the habitat for people, and I need people to have a workforce, so the station runs efficiently. Well, so I had one of each, and then I just worked backwards to get all the factories producing all the stuff that I need to support just the one medical and the one um, food ration modules. So once I had that self-sustaining with just one of each, then what I did is I actually wrote down basically for each one. Okay, I wrote down 480 energy cells. I wrote down 360 spices. I wrote those down, and then for every station, so that I had columns so that like energy cells. Well, here's another 240 I need, all that, and these are all measured per hour. Okay, so basically I just added up how much for one of each of these end products, get it self-sustaining with the right amounts of whatever it needs. Well, with me starting off, well, here, basically one of these supporting modules made more than enough for one of these, if that makes sense. So what I did was, after I figured out the numbers for the self-sustaining, how much I need for just one of each, then what I did is I looked at what each, and I only had one of each factory, one of each type of resource and everything. But then when I figured out, what everything that's required to make those, one of each, and basically found the ratio. Let's see if I try to explain this right. So basically, one meat, okay, you make more meat than you'll need for one food and one medical. Okay, so you'll have more meats. So what that means is, well, how many more food and medicals can you have? Basically maximizing your production for those based off what one of these makes. Okay, that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. So that, because then you can just, once you find like a base for one of each of your final products, and then you figure out one of each of everything that you need, and then you get those numbers, you can figure it out. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need 2 meat plants to support those. But in my case, it went the opposite way, because having one of each supported more than just one food and one medical. So I was like, so I figured out basically the max. I so for instance, energy cells, just one energy cell, solar power plant, whatever, would support 7.5 of combos of 2, one of each. So a combo is one food and one medical, is what I consider a combo. So one energy cell would support 7.5 sets of those combos. Okay, so you're looking at 7.5 medical and 7.5 food from one. So, and then like for the meats, basically one meat will do 1.93 food and medical, and so on and so forth. And I just figured out the ratio. So basically the idea was, I got it so that the numbers are as even as possible as far as what I'm producing to support maximizing my production. Basically, so I don't have a whole bunch of meat left over. I don't have a whole bunch of wheat and a whole bunch of spices and a whole bunch of water and a whole bunch of energy cells left over after producing what I need here. So I said I wasn't going to have the HQ produce goods to sell, but I am, just to be efficient. Hopefully that makes sense what I did, because this is all off computer really. I did this with pen and paper, figured out the numbers so I can figure out the ratios, so I can figure out, well, okay, I need 3 meats, 2 wheats, and 2 spices to support 5 foods and 5 medicals. Well, what do I need to support these? Well, I need all this water to support these. Well, then, so yeah, so basically it came down to I needed 5 water treatment plants to make enough water to support the whole everything else, and all based off of what's the max usage of this one energy cell. Well, basically you're taking the one that's producing the most cycles alone by itself, like this 7 cycles to say, or whatever, 7 times, versus um, water was like 2.75. So hopefully that I'm trying to be efficient. I'm trying to use up everything as much as possible to get those um, the end products I want. So I would basically start here, go back, kind of place them or whatever, and then kind of see what that requires, and then place that, and just work backwards. Start with your end products and work backwards. And if you don't, as long as you're producing enough stuff to make the end product, and if you don't care about making extra of the supporting stuff at the end, if you want to sell it, then that's fine. You don't have to really go into those numbers like I did, the ratios, trying to max out the numbers. But hopefully, comment if if you didn't understand something. Hopefully I explained it clearly, the thought process. So once you have that down, you can do it with making whatever you want. You just start with what end products do you want to make, and then just work backwards, because it will tell you what you'll need. You just have to do some thinking, some numbers, some figuring out a little bit, if you wanted to do it that way. So, anyways, it's important to understand, and that's the same thinking process as in past X games. You start with your end product and work backwards, whatever that requires. And the idea is to be self-sustaining, because these supporting products, ideally, you have an end product for a reason. And if these supporting products aren't an end product, you don't need to produce extra. So you want to try to use them all up. But anyways, that's the idea. But you can just go back and forth between this screen and your logical screen, and placing them at each step. Okay, so I finished this step, or now I need these to support that step, and so on, and work backwards. So if you see here, I just did a grid system. I'm just used to grid systems because of X3, and this is my first attempt really at this. So I just kept it with something I'm familiar with as far as the shape and layout in the grid system. But you can see the stations, but basically I just use the connectors and the crosses, so that basically each section is equally apart. So it is a grid. It's an equal grid. But you have to figure out how big you need each one to be, like your biggest station, so that you have equal spacing on everything. But that's with the way the station build system is with X4, you don't really have to do that. I'm just doing it my first time, but you can really tuck things in and have things off and kind of use space more efficiently, I would say. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't mess my HQ up, so that's why I kind of did it this way too. So one other thing too is, all right, I think this container storage, let's see here. Okay, so besides the stuff that I already had built, one thing I forgot is see, the green still has to be built, the white is built. Any module that has this thing here, if you hit it, that module can possibly have shield slots and turret slots. And so this one's got 8 groups, and each group has got 1 shield and 2 turrets. You can see it here. So this is a slider, so you can do 1 turret or 2 turrets, or if you just want it to be empty, you go empty. But so each module, well, not all modules have this. Definitely not the connectors and that sort of thing, like that's just the connectors. But I think the modules that actually do something, I think they have these um, hard spots to, that you can put whatever you want. So I had to go and I bought the blueprints for pulse turrets and for the best MK shield in each shield size, because I wasn't really sure about the shield sizes for different modules. Because if I do a small module, one small module, one large module, I'm going to need to be able to have the MK2 shield for large and small. See, so I bought one type, but in all the sizes, if that makes sense. And then I've also another tidbit. You're going to want to just make sure you have all the different types of storage, or the storage types. What I did is I already had a large container storage module. That was a blueprint I got somehow. But I needed to buy a large liquid and a large solid, because I'm going to need ice to make water in this thing, and ice is a solid, so I didn't have a solid. Now I'm making water, which water is a liquid. I think it's either a container or liquid, so I just went ahead and bought liquids too. So I've got 5 large of storage containers, solid containers, and liquid containers, and then I just have the production modules that I need to support 5 food ration factories and 5 medical supply factories. And then that will support um, the habitat module for the people that support the workforce that I need to support the station. So that's kind of like the loop you need. And that's what I did. I'm just making extra food supplies or food rations and medical supplies at the end. And now I could use those to supply other stations if I want, or I may. You know what? Let me go back here and let me go to information. No, it's not information. I think it's build plan. No, it's the logical view. Okay. There should be. Okay, if I go down here, if I scroll down, oops, you can see drones, which I've had these set and I've had it set to restock, and they're not being bought for some reason. I don't know if there's maybe none available to buy, but I don't have any drones yet. My workforce. Okay, so here's the workforce. So I've got 202. I can have 250. Optimal number. It still says 200 is the optimal number, anyways. uh, but I don't know. That may increase here as they're built. Like, because I don't think. Well, no, I don't know. That maybe that's all I need. Maybe that is all I need. I was thinking I may need to build more habitat modules, but I gotta keep an eye on it. I just gotta keep an eye on it. But yeah, I was buying the blueprints from here. Now some things too. I didn't really buy or put up any defense modules, like the turret modules. I didn't do any of those because I have. Oh yeah, that reminds me. When you're in your build plan, if something's not built yet, you can go in here and you can add those shields and turrets to those modules. But as soon as it's built, you can't. Okay, you can't add anymore. Um, and if you change something that's built, it will destroy it you'll get a little bit of the resources back, but I think maybe half or a quarter, and to be able to put those up there. So you can't put these modifications on after that module is built. But because I kind of did this in a couple stages because I'm learning, I forgot about the modules, the shields and the turrets on those ones that I built at first. But still, all of these that have the little edit things on the side have got, well, you can see here, 6 shield generators, 12 turrets on that one. And each one of these are, have something like that, give or take more or less. All of these. So I'm just going to go with that right now, especially since it's going to take 22 million for everything, and I've only got 8 million right now here. So let me increase this to 13 because I'm going to be needing to buy a lot more resources. I still need this many resources to finish my build plan, and these are the ones I already have in storage. Look at all those parts I've already got in storage. So I've almost already got most. I mean, I got more than half of some of this stuff. But what's nice is under the where reservations, it tells you who's on their way to come and sell that much, whatever that stuff is. Whatever, hull parts. This one's coming to sell 1,584 hull parts. And I think this number is like an estimation as far as time out, like 6 minutes. Very close, very close, very close, if not already there. Docked, unloading, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I think that's what those are. So that can tell you, if you don't even have enough already set up to supply what you're going to need, you may just want to take some manual traders and make up the difference. Or you can just wait. You can just wait for whenever it's right for the NPCs to be able to do it. And then again, I just leave this 100% as far as the prices for the global price modifier for these buy prices. And I also have, there was a setting somewhere to have it auto adjust or let the manager adjust them. Because you see here, it was 100%, but the price that an NPC was actually willing to sell it for was a lot lower. So I let them take advantage of those opportunities, but I want to at least have it supplied. So that's why I just leave this 100%. Because I don't really care what I'm paying for it. I would rather just have this thing built as soon as possible. So yeah, that's a lot of modules too. It's on that I ended up doing, and it's basically just self-sustaining and producing extra food rations and medical supplies. Okay, so that's going to take a long time though. You see here, this module still has 10 minutes on that one module. And especially since I believe it's going to take a lot longer when you have, more hard points or hit points, whatever, or hard points, whatever, for shields and turrets. It's going to take longer to build. So this is going to take a while, a long time to actually complete. That's a lot of stuff in there, actually. But as my traders and miners are making me money, I'm increasing this until I can have enough. So that's another thing too. You got time, to produce this stuff. So like I didn't have enough money, but I'm not waiting until I have enough money for all this because I know it's going to take a lot of time and so I can keep on adding as I go. Just a tidbit. I mean, it's probably obvious, but I just want to make sure you guys don't have to wait till you have all the money if you don't want to. You can just keep adding as your traders are making it because it takes so much time to produce or build these things. So yeah, anyways, that's kind of really stations. But once you understand kind of the process, and again, this is only my first thing, but I have kind of gone through the process now. So what I suggest doing is start with your end products and work backwards using this top menu, okay? Because it'll tell you exactly what you need. And just going back and forth, and like, okay, so I built the medical and I built the food ration. Actually, I started with the storage containers first, just because I knew I was going to need a lot of them. So and since I ended up with, on my planning out, I ended up with 5 food and 5 medical. So I did rows of 5. So I just went ahead with 5 containers, large containers of each, just to have plenty of space. Um, that'd be tons of. All right, guys. Well, yeah, it's Merry Christmas again. It will probably, I don't know, by the time I edit this and actually get it uploaded, it's probably going to be midnight on the 26th. It's probably just going to be at the end of Christmas. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually finish the upload before Christmas. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But hope everyone had a great Christmas. And it's pretty cool. I got those ships. Let's see if I can. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show the exterior. Actually, yeah, sweet. Although I can't move it. Yeah, I can't move it. Darn. So you can't really get the side view, but Christmas colors, and it's going to be on there because, like I said, I will lose it in this game playthrough if I go with something else. So it's just sticking with the snowflakes. It's going to be a snowflake. It's a snowflake. But anyways, guys, definitely thank you, and I will see you guys next time.